right, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like enough time has passed. You feel me? You know, if you haven't seen the movie now, hey, you've been formally warned. There will be spoilers in this. So this is going to be my Spider-Man Brand New Day review. You feel me? Like, I'm going to go through it kind of quickly because, again, there's a lot to talk about. And I'm not trying to sit here all day. You feel me? If you really want a more in-depth thing, kind of just go somewhere else. You feel me? I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that, but it's not gonna be like a super long, super in-depth thing because I really just don't want to sit here in this chair all day. But it was a good movie. So with that being said, you have been warned. Let's get it. All right. So first thing I want to say is thank God this is an actual Spider-Man video. I mean, actual Spider-Man movie, so I say, because so far in the MCU, Spider-Man has been, you know, Avengers and friends, and Spider-Man, you can literally just throw in friends. You feel me? Like, the first time we seen him was in Captain America Civil War, which he was still good in. You feel me? He was a kid, got tossed in a whole Civil War process that he didn't really know what the fuck he was doing, but he was quippy, making jokes, awkward ass jokes and anything like that. Even when he was fighting, like, dude, you got a metal arm?
You have a metal arm? That is awesome, dude.
Like, and everything like that. And yeah, it was pretty cool. It was like legitly seeing Spider-Man. He had the whole interaction and everything like that, like Spider-Man. So it was good to see. It was a good startup. You feel me? And then we jumped into Homecoming, and yeah, he was in New York. I mean, he went also to DC as well. But like, yeah, okay. But yeah, it was good to see like that. But then they started taking him everywhere. Like again, like say he went to DC, then he went to like Europe and everything like that. He went into space and all the good shit. It's just like it was a lot. It did quite a bit. Like I was like, okay. So it finally got to No Way Home where he actually brought him home. Like he was just doing shit in New York finally. And then this one, he's finally in New York as well. Like stays in New York, doesn't go nowhere, strictly just New York. No multiverse shit, no none of that shit. He was all in New York because he is a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And I was so glad about that. You feel me? Like I was tired of him being like the Spider Boy, that he would just be an assist guy for everybody else and not just, you know, dealing with his stuff in his own turf. Granted, I know he does assist everybody else out there just because that's just the nature of the game. If they need his help, he'll go out there, no problems, no questions asked. But I'm just glad they kept it in New York, kept it in his backyard, and let him be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. To add to that, I love the comic references. There's a bunch of them. There was a lot of comic references out there in this movie. You feel me? You had the tarantula fight, which we saw in the trailer, where he was going to get them on a boat. You had him scaling a building where Boomerang was, you know, shooting at him. You also had the Scorpion fight that was also part of the cover page and anything like that. There's a lot of and him swinging with the man, that was also a part of the Amazing Spider-Man cover. You know, then you also had the other references like Cindy Moon. You also had I think that could have been Gwen, or that could have been somebody else in his building. I truthfully don't know. I don't think that was Felicia, but like, yeah. But y'all are getting what I'm saying. There was a lot of comic accurate stuff, which I absolutely love. So thank God for that. Next thing I want to talk about is the emotional toll. That is where I was like, thank God they actually nailed that part, is because Spider-Man, yeah, he comes off as like, you know, happy-go-lucky and everything like that. He deals with a lot of traumatic events, let alone just a lot of emotional turmoil to the heartstrings, you feel me? Because he goes through a lot, and I mean quite literally a lot. And I'm glad it is not just like brushed it over or anything like that, because he still was grieving Aunt May's death. He still was grieving the fact that he doesn't have his own best friend. He doesn't have his girl. Everybody's like bitching, complaining right now that, oh, he still broke his promise. I get where he's trying to come from. Granted, he kind of shot himself in the dick because he could have actually got his girl back. But I understand what he's trying to get at. He didn't want to put her in harm's way. Because again, Spider-Man gets put in harm's way quite literally every single day. And to the point where if they knew that he had a girlfriend, they're going to use that as leverage one way or another. So I do get that part. But I also understand why people are like, oh, but he broke a promise. You got to see from both sides. You feel me? But I'm do glad they showed that emotional turmoil that he was going through, dealing with all that he craved companionship. He craved a village. He craved someone to understand the feeling that he's going through while he was running himself ragged the entire time. Because that's really what Spider-Man is. As much as he really wants to have a normal life, he knows that nigga cannot have a normal life. As much as he want to have companionship, a normal relationship, a normal friendship, everything like that, he knows he can't do it. And he knows, he's like, I just want to reach out and, say hi. I want to do all this shit. But he can't. He simply can't. And I'm glad it added that in the movie because, again, he's not just always going to be some high go lucky nigga, like, being so happy and everything like that. He hides a lot of pain. He hides it very well. Granted, a lot of people can see past it sometimes, i.e. like the detective and everything like that. But yeah, and then to add on to the emotional turmoil where he got his heart broken because she found the note and everything like that, and she just like, yeah, that's not me. I'm sorry, but that's not me. You're gonna have to deal with that. And he literally had to swing back with her after that awkward ass conversation. I was like, damn, what can you do at that point? You can't blame MJ. I mean, he waited too long. He waited way too long. And then he's a good guy. And then they had a little, a happy moment of him, rebonding with Ned and everything like that. I'm just like, it hurts. That hurts. I was just like, damn, you really don't know. You just really don't ever see that side of Spidey. You feel me? Unless you read the comics. But like, yeah, I'm glad they add the emotional aspect to this movie though. All right, so another good things. What's it called? Hulk was back. Thank God. A lot of people thought MCU Hulk was pretty much cooked at this point. But for the slight bit of time that he was in there, I'm so glad. So glad that they finally brought back Savage Hulk, who actually, had his mind snapped, by Jean and everything. He's like, oh shit, I can't control it, or anything like that. So he finally brought himself back. No more Professor Hulk, thank God, because I could not stand that iteration of Hulk.
Hulk out, Bruce. Damn.
And then the Punisher was damn good. Arguably one of the best parts of the movie because, again, a lot of people do see him as only strictly as a villain, but he's like an anti-villain. He teaches that great line of, being a hero / villain. So it's fun. It was fun seeing him in there. The sibling energy between those two, because again, they sort of got that. You feel me? Like it shows a great amount of range between those two and those two type of characters being in there. It was good to see. It was really freaking good to see. Another thing that I did enjoy was seeing that my mutants were introduced because I knew they wanted to bring the X-Men. I knew they wanted to try to pivot one way or another, but I guess using Jean wasn't the greatest of all things, but I'll get onto that later. But I'm just glad now mutants are introduced and we officially will have them later on in the MCU, even though I know we'll get them in, the reboot as well. But that's exactly what I love to see. I'm so happy that my mutants are back, you feel me? And lastly, the one thing I did truthfully like that, Spider-Man is now Spider-Man. He has power, like his powers are finally evolved. He is not like some Spider-Punk not like the actual Spider-Punk, you know what I mean? Like a little baby, like homeboy got power, that grown man strength power now. Like as soon as they fucking evolved, it's like, oh, are you Spider-Man or are you Peter? I'm both, motherfucker. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And he put absolute belt to ass his spider sense, which they really never called it spider sense once yet, but like, whatever. But I'm glad they finally gave him his strength. Now he has organic webs and everything like that, so he really doesn't need that shit anymore. So I'm glad they let him be like super strong, like not like OD strong, like compared to like other people, but like I'm glad he's strong now. Like I'm glad he can hold his own for sure. His spider sense has evolved immensely to where we're all used to what it looks like, either reading it or watching like the animated series. But like, yes, I'm glad that he is Spider-Man, like legitly he is Spider-Man. So that's pretty much all the good aspects of like it. Like again, I do like this movie, I really do. Do I think it was better than his last Spider-Man movie? Kinda, not really. Like depending how you look at it, because no matter how you look at any MCU movie, like everybody's gonna be saying, but it was just a nostalgia bit. That's pretty much every MCU movie so far that we're gonna get. Like for the remainder of our times, we're gonna see everybody doing all these damn nostalgia cameos, like all these team ups and everything like that. It really is never gonna be just a single, what's it called, hero movie or anything like that. There's always gonna be some type of nostalgia or anything like that. At this point, you should expect that. Do everybody like it? No. But at this point, you literally just gotta like suck it up and like expect that shit now, because it's gonna happen. Like legitimately, it's gonna happen one way or another. So yeah, overall, it still is a good movie, but now we need to talk about the things I really don't believe that should have been in this movie, but I didn't rock with, right? So, one, Gene being the villain, I think that was kind of unnecessary. I really do think that they could have used anybody else. Like, pivoting into that, I do think they should have added more Spider-Man villains. Like, we got 2 seconds of seeing Tombstone. We got Scorpion in there for like a decent amount, and all of a sudden he was gone. There was nothing left in there. And what was it? Boomerang was like there for 2 seconds. Tarantula was in there for like 2 seconds. There was not enough of Spider-Man's villains. Even though Vulture and Scorpion walked past each other in a Homecoming. So I was like, I thought Vulture was gonna come back. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Also, if you don't know, Ned is Hobgoblin. That is a thing. That does become a thing. But knowing what we expect in the next like few movies, do we see Ned become Hobgoblin? Maybe, just maybe. I don't know. Maybe after the Avengers movies. You feel me? Like, but as of right now, we don't know. We really don't know what the hell is gonna happen with all these villains, because they really weren't in there. It really wasn't there. It pretty much was a setup movie, which is like kind of like, all right, this is like. That's kind of like, fuck, all right, whatever. But yeah, Jean being the villain was not necessary. I knew you were trying to like, set up the mutants in there one way or another, but they could have did it a different way. She didn't have to be the villain. If you mean, unless they're like trying to draw this shit in from like the Dark Phoenix saga or whatever the fuck. But like, I don't think they're even gonna go that far just yet. But you never know. You really never know. Also, speaking of Jean, like I don't remember her sister having powers for the most part. I really feel like that she probably developed like late mutant abilities like once or a few, maybe a couple of times in the comics. But for the most part, she really didn't have powers. I could be wrong, but like I don't ever remember her having powers. Like, truthfully speaking, I really don't remember her having powers. So that part was kind of just like, whatever. But like, yeah, I don't know about that one. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of that one. I truly wasn't a fan of that. Next thing I truthfully didn't honestly understood was like why she was there, and that was Widow. Like, Yelena being there, I don't know, because she's a new Avengers, I guess, you feel me? But like I don't know. I don't see why she was truthfully there. She just provided like a smidge bit of information, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I don't know. Like, it wasn't anything that we haven't seen before. Like, but it wasn't necessary to have her there. But she's still pretty. That's pretty much it. But I don't know why she was there. Even though I like seeing Hulk too. I like seeing Hulk. Why was he there? Like, I don't know why he truthfully was there. Because I don't know why they had Hulk in there, knowing, like, because I get it, there was like he had this inhibitor thing on his wrist, and then Spider-Man kind of just unintentionally created the inhibitor collar. But I was like, that don't make sense. I know y'all were trying to pivot with that with the mutants and everything like that, but he didn't make that. He didn't make that. As far as I can remember, it was like in the Uncanny X-Men, right? I think it was like Trask Industries that made the freaking inhibitor collars because for the mutants for the Sentinel project and like that. I don't think it was supposed to be Spider-Man or like a Hulk or anything like that. So just like, I really didn't like that part. I didn't like that at all. For real, like, cause like I knew y'all was gonna do that. I knew they was gonna try to pivot some way somehow how this all would make sense eventually in the future. But like, I don't know. I don't know about that one. You feel me? That the inhibitor collar was never really Spider-Man's responsibility. If anything, it was supposed to be like forged afterwards. But like, yeah, I don't know, bro. We gonna see if they create this or correct this shit with the Uncanny X-Men references in the next movies. But like that, I don't know. Spider-Man being kind of in the responsibility of that / Hulk, I didn't like that. I didn't really like that. So I'm glad Hulk was in the movie, but like, was he really necessary for the movie? Yes and no. So I don't know. Take that how you want to, but I don't know. But yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got for this movie. Like, again, it was really a good movie. It was still pretty damn good. You feel me? Like, does it still measure up to like the last one? Yeah. Do I think it's better than the last one? Nah, not really. But again, it is what it is. To each his own. You feel me? Like, again, there were some things that definitely could have been different, like not having Widow. Jean should have been the villain. Hulk, he wasn't in there that long, but like, was he really needed? Nah, I probably would have rather had Daredevil in there, probably in there somehow, some way, because again, they all cross paths one way or another. But again, still worth a 9.5, maybe 9 out of 10. Y'all call it. It all's on y'all, but like, that's just my honest opinion about it. It was a good movie. It was 1000% a good movie, but there's definitely some shit that we 100% should change. Also, before I go, the way they did Jean's powers though, that was one of the weakest shit I ever seen in the very beginning. 33 feet to fucking, bounce from one person to another and all like that. Like, it was like on, not Stranger Things thing. I don't know what it was, but like that, no. Jean has been on demon time since she got her powers. As soon as the bitches activated, it was already on 10. There was no if, ands, or buts of like, I need this type of range. She did not know how far her shit can go. And it damn sure wasn't at 30 feet. So, no. I did not like that part. Jean, even though I'm not a biggest fan of Jean is fucking ridiculously strong. So that part, that I was like, all right, that's some bullshit. You feel me? She did not need all of that to finally, tap into her latent powers. She already knew that shit. Well, not knew it, but she was already OD strong. She just had to learn how to fucking tap into it, but that comes with Xavier's influence. But yeah, that part, before I go, that I really could not do with that. But if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share button, and comment down below. How did you like the new Spider-Man movie? Spider-Man Brand New Day. Leave y'all rankings in the comments below. Have your comments on the movie. If you liked it, you like it. If you didn't like it, y'all let me know down in the comments below. But I thought it was cool. Definitely some things that would change, but all in all, still a great movie. You feel me? But it's your boy Easy. Till next time.